Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's always such a pleasure and an honor to get to be here again with you all and share this time. I'll grow up. Act your age. Stop being so childish. How many times have we heard someone say that? If I were to ask you to describe how you live, what would be the first word that comes to your mind? Busy? Distracted? Stressed? On autopilot? In this challenging world of ours, we are expected to grow up and become adults, and we become bogged down with responsibilities, financial obligations, worry, fear, so much to do, so little time. We are taught from the time that we enter school, if not before, to put away childish things and act like an adult. Be silent and stop laughing. We are taught that being an adult means taking life seriously. Work before pleasure. Children are seen and not heard. We are taught to throw away our childish dreams for more practical matters. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. When was the last time that you laughed so hard your belly hurt? Or you ran barefoot through the grass, giggling like crazy? Now, these activities might seem frivolous or unnecessary, but I believe they are vital to our health and day-to-day well-being. Think about the children you come in contact with. Watch them and observe how they play. With simple abandon, how they find fun in everything. They sing, they laugh, they experience joy. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, we can't all go around laughing and singing and acting like children all day. We've got jobs and responsibilities. But since when did growing up mean losing that childlike innocence, that innate curiosity, that enthusiasm, that joy? As adults, it can become all too easy to lose touch with our inner child. Now, these childlike qualities, enthusiasm, creativity, joy, imagination, compassion, energy, they don't actually go away. Instead, our access to them gets blocked by our life experiences. Somewhere along the way, someone managed to squash our enthusiasm, telling us to grow up and stop being silly. Slowly, we learn to protect that part of ourselves and keep it a secret. Sometimes we even build a wall around it. In Matthew chapter 18, verses 2 through 3, it reads, Jesus called a little child to stand among them. Truly, I say to you, he said, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, in our Unity teachings, I interpret this to mean that if we become hardened as adults and lose the wonder and innocence and trust of being a child, we will never experience the kingdom of heaven. Because the kingdom of heaven is within. And within us is that divine spark, and to me that divine spark is directly connected to my inner child. That child that trusts and loves and sings and laughs and plays. When I become like a child, I experience the kingdom of heaven. As in our daily word, our Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore said, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. Mary Poppins said, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. Find the fun and snap, the job's a game. Actor author Bob Basso said, if it's not fun, you're not doing it right. I believe that finding the fun in everything is so important in keeping us connected to that inner child. But how do we do that in our busy adult lives? One way that instantly comes to mind for me is to be in the now. As adults, we are constantly thinking of things we have to do tonight, tomorrow, next week, next month, worrying. Be where you are, because where you are is where the fun is. A child is always experiencing everything in the now. If they're laughing, it's because something is funny now. If they are crying, they're not stuck in the past. They're crying because something is sad or hurts now. And even if they are crying now, they might be laughing in the next moment, easily letting emotions flow through them. Never getting stuck, always ready to move on to the next moment once the current moment has been felt. What a great way to live. Now, I tell people I laugh and cry every day. And some people don't believe me because they usually just see the public Bill, who is usually rather jovial. But even if it's only for a moment, there comes a time each day that I allow myself to cry and laugh about something. And sometimes I get to do both at the same time. Laughing through tears can be one of the most joyful experiences you can have when something is so beautiful and moving and uplifting and funny at the same time that tears and laughter spring forth.
Yes.
It is so cathartic and so releasing. My affirmation is, I let emotions flow through me. Now, as a child, I had lots of energy, as you might imagine. And according to my mom, it was too much. So I was sent outside to run around the house many times in order to try to release some of that energy. And I was also given the nickname Tigger by some of my friends because I was always bouncing with energy. So, I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine. Woo! See, as kids, we just let things happen. I'll get that later. So here's Tigger. The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. Their heads are made out of rubber, their tails are made out of springs. They're bouncy, 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 fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. Yay! So, inspired by Tigger here, we're going to try a little exercise. If you're able to do so without pain, I invite you to stand up and get ready to move, or dance, or jump up and down. If you're seated, wave your arms about in the air. The point is to get your blood flowing and your heart pumping, and while doing so, I invite you to reconnect with a joyful moment from childhood. And I'm going to kick off my shoes. Okay, Todd, time for some bouncy Tigger music. Now that's the idea I'm trying to get across. We can give ourselves permission to play and be silly. There were so many times in my apartment in Brooklyn when I would just put on the music and dance and skip around the apartment feeling the joy. Or just singing out loud. Do you let yourself be silly and have fun when no one's looking?
Yes.
I do. And I often do it when people are looking too. I read a great daily blog called Tiny Buddha. And I came across one of their posts that tells you how to put the fun into the everyday. So, as I get my breath, I put together a top 10 list using some of theirs and some of mine. Number 1, smile more. I've read that children smile 400 times a day and adults only 15. As adults, we've become more guarded and cautious. We hold back from showing too much emotion and are especially reserved with strangers. Children are the complete opposite. They will gladly give a smile to any passerby. They express their emotions freely for the entire world to see. Give it a try. Number 2, notice nature. Do you remember what it was like to look at the world through the eyes of a child? Children are in awe of ants, birds, dandelions, the sunset, the world around them. At some point, we become creatures of the concrete jungle. Allow yourself to be enamored by Mother Nature again. In New York City, I would talk to and touch every tree on the way to the subway as a way to reconnect with nature amidst all that concrete. Here in New Mexico, we have so many more opportunities to get our feet in the grass, in the dirt, and reconnect with the earth. Number 3, climb things. As soon as they discover their legs, kids start climbing everything. There is something about being above ground level that is thrilling. So climb a rock, climb a tree, take a hike to the top of the mountain. You will feel like the master of your universe. Number 4, embrace your flaws. Being self-conscious is stifling. Children will come up to you and lift up their shirts and say, "See my belly?" They're not self-conscious or worried if they have the body advertised on TV. They're just having fun. They're just being curious. They're just sharing. So my advice is take a day to avoid the mirror and let your inner beauty be the way you look.
Amen.
Number 5, use your imagination. A child can get lost in a make-believe world for hours. Okay, truth time. I still play dress up. I have lots of costumes and play items from the past that I will sometimes put on when no one is home and get lost in imagination, playing different characters in my mind just for the fun of it. Now, I bought an Obi-Wan Kenobi costume for the premiere of Star Wars The Force Awakens last December. And it's a good thing there are no security cameras in our home, because I've put it on several times since then and acted out scenes with my lightsaber. I'm just saying. Number 6, be unpredictable and get out of your comfort zone. There is no knowing what a kid will get up to next. Step out of your ordinary routine and you'll be surprised at how liberated you'll feel. As we mature, we tend to stay in our safe place. Your day will be so much more exciting if you are brave enough to wear those pink plaid pants you have hidden in the closet. My friend Steven wears brightly colored outfits that please him, and he is one of the happiest guys I know. Number 7, give yourself permission to play. Children are known to devote hours in pursuit of play, laughter, and fun. As children, we are encouraged to play and explore the things that we love. It is our responsibility as adults to give ourselves our own permission to have fun. The healing and positive benefits of laughter have been proven innumerable times. And a life lived in pursuit of laughter and fun is one that is lived without regrets. Number 8, paint, draw, build, write, sing, just create. What did you love to do as a child? As a child, I loved to color with crayons, and I had these wonderful Charlie Brown coloring books that I spent hours coloring very carefully. So that, because I wanted to make sure I was within the lines. And sometimes I still get out my box of crayons and color just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
When you thought of something that you used to love to do, find a way to bring it back into your life. I don't care if you think it's childish, just do it. Number 9, get dirty. Kids aren't afraid to experience life hands-on. Get right in there, make sandcastles, play in the mud, finger paint. Don't be afraid to get dirty. Because now that you're an adult, the good part is you know how to clean up after yourself. And number 10, break the rules. Fun doesn't follow all the rules, neither do kids. If it doesn't hurt you or someone else, go for it. Who cares if you leave the Christmas lights up all year long? More truth. I've left the Christmas tree up until March. Many times.
April.
I hear truth. Because it made the evening so magical, with its sparkling lights and shimmering ornaments. Plus, the lights were on the clapper, and that was fun in itself just to turn on and off. Now, when you are taking all of the above into consideration, the next step is to be unapologetically you.
Yes.
Have you ever had to bite back a remark or tone down your personality because you thought the people around you wouldn't accept you as you are? Unfortunately, it's all too common for people to dim their own inner light so it doesn't shine in other people's eyes. But all this really does is draw you away from the true and authentic you. Now, one of the parables of Jesus is the story of the lamp under the bushel. It appears in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And in Luke chapter 11, verse 33, it reads, "No one, when he has lit a lamp, puts it in a cellar or under a basket, but on a stand, that those who come in may see the light." Never hide your light. Never hide who you are. You are meant to shine your light so that all may see. So anytime you get the feeling that someone around you might not like what you're about to say or do, let your inner child take over. At the very worst, you'll be right. They won't like it. But at least you're being true to yourself and allowing the real you to shine. These busy lives we schedule, the protective walls we build up in order to protect us from the outside world, they all dim our light, our divine spark, our inner Christ essence. So the next time that you find yourself faced with a situation that makes you feel uncertain, stressed, angry, or uneasy, just ask yourself, what would my inner child do? Normally, your inner child will have a great idea to help you approach difficult situations with an open mind, an open heart, and an open soul. This will also help you feel less stressed and anxious when making choices in your life. However, if your inner child is throwing a tantrum and urging you to toss an ice cream cone in someone's face, it's probably a good idea to give him or her a cookie and put them in the timeout corner until you can figure out what to do. So, in conclusion, I want to remind you that your inner child is there to help you be more creative, innovative, happy, and free. Let your inner child loose and embrace their simple wisdom. Remember, you are a divine creation of God. Breathe each day with the enthusiasm and joy of your inner child. Whatever you do, do it with zeal. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Bill, not only for giving us permission in the head part about allowing the truth of who we are to express, but giving us the experience as well. Thank you. And I don't just mean the fun playing stuff, but I actually felt it even after that as you were sharing.